talk about the essentials of Buddhism. As you know, we're gonna plan to have 28 uh, classes, or in other words, 28 Wednesdays. If you can come and join the class, that would be wonderful. If you're really busy and the schedule is not fit or something, then you can go online and find those information online anyway. Um, Today we'll talk about the refuge, taking refuge, and a virtuous life. That's in the first level. You have some handout there, so I'm not really following that one. That's just for a reference. Later you can find out more information. Taking refuge then have several questions on it. The first question is, why take refuge? That's just the most important thing. Why take refuge? Then second is, whom we take refuge with. That is the second one. Those are most important two questions for the refuge. Then how and some other sporting studies and practice and so forth. So that's today. Maybe we're gonna talk about those. Why take refuge? That's one. Why take refuge? Then we have to find out ourselves. For instance, in the morning, when we get up, then something wrong, something going on very serious, like my headache or something. Then I have to find out why I have that headache. Then when I get up, then really my hands are not really functioning well, and then I will start find out why I have those problems. Then later maybe I find out maybe something going on, that's really serious, like I have a serious disease, sickness. Then the first thing in our mind will come up. I have to find out what's wrong with that. Then hospital or a doctor. So that is the number one. Then I call somebody, or I go online and find out. Then, oh, that's very bad. I have a little stroke, for instance. Baby stroke, okay, not the serious, little one. Then I have to follow the the idea. Then how? Where can I find the doctor? If I find a doctor in Bloomington Hospital, so that's how the doctor is very famous and very good and experts, special for the stroke, and I'm very happy. However, how to make an appointment with him? So that's very difficult. And if in a developing country like in Mongolia or in China or India, then we have to do a bakshish. Do you know what the bakshish is? So you have to give some money and find somebody that's an Indian language, I guess, Hindu or something, bakshish or something. Anyway, then here, I don't know, but we have to find a way to make that appointment with them. If my friend or my relative or my friend's friends have that connection, that would be very good. And then finally, I will make that connection. That's the doctor is so busy. You have to make appointment. You have to be ahead, like 2 months before or something, that's too bad. You can't make it, right? Some reason we made that connection. Tomorrow we'll have an appointment, and I'm so happy. Then I feel like almost like cure, almost like okay, I have a hope. Then I go to the doctor and see the doctor. The doctor find out, said, yes, you have a little stroke. Still is a baby stroke, not really serious, but you have to give a treatment, otherwise it may be very bad. Then let's say my stroke, they say F stroke, okay, F, okay. Then the doctor called Mr. Brown, Dr. Brown. Then the doctor said, you have to take a medicine. There's a new medicine, very useful, very expensive, but very difficult to find also. Then the medicine called D medicine. Okay. The D medicine, D something, that's a long name, but just you remember that's a D medicine, that's all, enough. Okay. So where can I find that's a D medicine? Then have to call somebody, and the friend helped again. Then they drive 100 miles away, then spend lots of money, and then finally find that's D medicine. Then the doctor said, okay, now not only that's medicine, you have to do something. Okay, you have to follow my instruction. Then beside you take these pills, you have to change, or you have to be behave your diet. So what you eat, what you drink, have to find out. So then, by the way, that's reminded me a story when I was in the Bay Area, before I came here. So there's a very famous Tibetan doctor came to a Bay Area to visit. So the doctor called, as a Tibetan doctor called Dr. Ishidanden or something. So he was His Holiness doctor too. Then very famous, then came, and I have a friend then want to visit, that's the doctor. Then also we made an appointment, we went there. Then when we were there, some people already waiting for that's seeing that's the doctor. And then he was asking American guy, okay, if you take a medicine, you have to, I have to find out what is your diet. And do you drink coffee? And of course, coffee is the most important thing for our American life, right? For me, it's okay. I don't want to, I'm not really interested in coffee, but for most of us have to drink coffee. So the doctor said, you drink coffee? No coffee. Okay, no coffee? Okay, how long? Oh, until fully cure your disease, then you have to stop. Okay, I have to stop. That's a true story. Okay, I'm telling you that's a true story. Then, what do you drink then besides coffee? Do you drink something sweet? Yeah, that's soda or Coca-Cola. Oh, no Coca-Cola, no soda, nothing. Okay. And do you eat avocado? Yes, no avocado. then, do you eat something cold? Yeah. I always put some ice in the water, and also that's ice cream. Oh, no ice cream, no ice, nothing. Then that poor guy said, okay, I have to stop all of them to take that Tibetan medicine. Yes, if you take Tibetan medicine, you have to stop all of them. Then I'm thinking if you stop all of them, maybe almost cured because you don't need those things because those diseases come from them maybe, you know. So anyway, the Tibetan doesn't say that's just a story, that's remind me. So here, when I think about the teaching, then I remember that's a story. Then I want to share. That's I feel for me it's kind of a little interesting. So in Tibet, if you say that, so okay, you have to, you eat this, you eat that, then you have to be careful for that, and that's also normal. But here, if you say stop drink coffee and that one, that's change the diet is a very kind of serious thing, right? So the doctor might say, Dr. B, Dr. Brown say, you have to change your diet. And we say yes. Okay, then also Dr. B might say you have to change your routine, schedule, reschedule everything. So when ask that person, do you sleep well? Yeah, sleep well. You get up early? No, no, not really. Around maybe 8, 9. Oh, that's too late. You have to get up a little bit earlier. Oh, by the way, what time you sleep? Oh, I'm usually checking emails and go to internet and call somebody in Asia maybe. So that's why I sleep, very late. No, no, you have to sleep around maybe 9 or 9:30, 10. 10 is the latest, hour. You have to sleep around 10. Then you try to get up maybe around 6 or 7. Okay, so you have to change then also the meal. So talking about this meal, in the Mongolian have a saying. Usually we have 3 meals a day. So the morning meal, they said something in Mongolian, but I can't exactly translate it. But morning meal for self, lunch for friend, dinner for enemy. They're saying something like that. So the idea is when you have a morning meal, so that's good for you, so you can have a bigger. Lunch also like with friend, like accompany somebody, then you can have lunch, but for the because you're that's a social communication, then you have to have lunch, something like that. Then the dinner is not good for you, so that's why as your enemy, if here you're always having a dinner, then they might be very happy. So that's why that's dinner good for enemy, lunch for good for friends, and breakfast for good for you yourself, something like that. So then the doctor might say, oh, how many meals you have? Oh, usually I don't eat breakfast because I'm late, right? So I eat lunch, but I usually eat the big dinner. No, you have to change. So anyway, that's all the story kind of I'm making. But that's why I'm making this story, because this is in our daily life. The practice actually for good for our daily life, not just for, the other day we had a conversation. Buddha said, when you find my teaching, my words as a gold, you have to check, you have to burn them, you have to treat them. Then you really find that it's a real gold. Then you have to use them. Don't just put somewhere to show respect. So in our tradition, you have a Buddha statue and Dharma and everything in the altar. Rarely we go there and check and read, right? So the teaching is for practice. Daily life, we have to use them. So that's why I'm making those kind of example for our daily practice. So then doctor, then have to have a treatment. That's called treatment. You have to take this medicine. You have to stop those things. You have to get up a little bit earlier. You try to eat the breakfast instead of dinner, so you can reduce your dinner, or you just make a small dinner for you, or stop 2 meals a day. That would be really healthy. So then the doctor gave those instructions. That's called treatment. Treatment will call, we have to give a name for treatment. Treatment called E-treatment, okay? E-treatment. So what that mean? The F, stroke, B, doctor, D, medicine, E, practice, or E, the treatment. Actually, those four important things from the Buddha's teaching. The first one, F, is fear. F is fear. We have a fear. When we have some problem, we have a fear. Does the fear come first? Once you have that fear, then the suffering will follow that fear. Then first of all, I have this fear. Oh, I have a stroke. That's serious. Oh, now what's I'm gonna do? That's a fear. Then the doctor B is Buddha. Okay, the Buddha is the doctor. The Buddha will give you medicine. The medicine is the medicine, right? Which is Dharma. So Dharma, actually the Dharma teaching is the medicine. Then the treatment, what I call E, the earnest practice, the really serious practice. Once we have those things, then you can overcome your suffering. So once we have this suffering, then have to find out where this suffering comes from. The suffering lead by the fear. So we have to stop this fear, and we have to build up some kind of confidence. We have that's a belief to stop all the suffering. Then how? We have to find the teacher. So the teacher is the Buddha. Once we have that's a Buddha, then Buddha will give the instruction, that's Dharma, teaching, and what you should do, what you shouldn't do, all of them. Then finally, we follow that to practice. If you just respect the Buddha, you just respect the Dharma, then you never practice, then that doesn't help. So Buddha's teaching also a very important thing is that oneself have to practice. Otherwise, just say, okay, Buddha bless me and help me, and that's also help a little bit because they can build up that trust or faith. Then other than that, really not fully help because you didn't practice. If somebody they still continue doing those mischief things and just ask monks to say prayer, that doesn't work. So that's why some people come to me, they said, okay, can you say prayer? Why? My husband is an alcoholic. I want to stop him, but he's very stubborn. I never convinced him. So can you say prayer? Then I say, well, I can say prayer, but that doesn't work, You have to tell him, maybe you can find a job for him. Your husband has a job? Then sometimes because there's no job. Or has job but part-time and so forth. They said those reasons. Then I said the most important thing is to find a job. Let him busy. Then also he has to work. Then he find out that work is so important. The family is important. I have to earn some money for the family and for oneself, and those things. Then maybe that's prayer can help a little bit. Otherwise, that's you say prayer for the alcoholic, or you say prayer for somebody going to a casino. You try to stop that. So that's very difficult. I don't know. Buddha might have this ability, but the normal monks, myself, I can't stop. When I say prayer for stopping somebody's like going to go to the casino or drink alcohol or something, that's no way, right? So the most important thing is have to follow that instruction to practice. Those four things are basic thing. So you have that's handout, you can see the second verse, third verse, uh, relying, relying on the 6 ideas. The first thing is think of yourself as a sick person. Think of the instructor as a doctor. Think of the instructor's explications as medicine. Think of the earnest practice, just we mentioned, as a way to cure your disease. So those are basic 4 things. So we have to think about ourselves have illness. Otherwise, if I'm thinking, somebody say, oh, uh, my kids or my relative has a little bit problem, but he or she doesn't recognize as a problem, then very difficult. And then says, we have to see a doctor. And say, no, I'm okay. Why I have to see the doctor? And then that's very difficult, right? So we have to recognize ourselves as a sick person. Of course, physically we're okay maybe. Mentally, because inside we have those attachment, anger, and the ignorance, those 3 poisons we have. So those 3 poisons, do we have those 3 poisons? Definitely we do. Otherwise, we don't have those stress and we don't have those sufferings, supposedly. Because those 3 things inside, those 3 seeds, always making problem for our daily life. So that's why we every day have those kind of stress and problem and depression and all of them from them. So that's why we have to think about ourselves as a sick person. Then we have to find that that's the instructor, really is the Buddha as a doctor. The doctor gave that instructor as explanation or teachings, that is the medicine. Then we have to follow this instruction and the earnest practice. Number 5 and number 6 is the think about the teachings. Tathagata is the Buddha's name. Tathagata, Buddha as excellent beings. Then we'll know that. So, for instance, we know somebody. This person had lots of contribution for the society, did lots of good things. And then we'll know, oh, this person is really special. Then we can remember this person and so forth. So otherwise, we don't know. Then the number 6 is wish that the teachings will endure for a long time. Then we'll have that kind of hope, because that's a program. Can stay longer, can help more people. For instance, we have that company here, town, right? Called Bill, the Cook before called Cook Pharmacy, right now called Cook Medical or Cook Medical, yeah. I have heard that's in the 50s or 60s. Cook self had very serious disease or something, then find out then there's a way to cure this one. Then he was developing that equipment, I guess. So that's kind of the idea, You have to know something very useful, then we have a wish to make that one remain and stay longer. We can support that one. So those are 6 ideas for practice, very important. And then back to the second verse, how to listen to the Dharma or how to practice Dharma has, they made the metaphor, made those 3 folds of vessel, 3 folds of vessel. We're listening the Dharma, okay, Dharma as water, or Dharma as a nectar. We are vessels. We have to get water or whatever to benefit. So our vessel has 3 problems. The first problem is being upside down. the vessel being upside down, then water can't get in. The idea is we all very excited about that talk and everything. That's fine. Otherwise, sometimes people come to the temple, say you say some prayers or something, then always ask me to do that. Then I'm happy to do that. However, because their schedule is very busy, they worked very hard. When I start the prayer, they all like that. So the teaching is almost like that. So sometimes you have a very long teaching, like that's reminded me something, I always have to keep you up, right? So then there's a story. So the story is then one driver, who passed away. When he passed away, he went to, this is like a Western story, okay? So when the person passed away, then the driver passed away, went to that's heaven, I guess. So St. Peter's was there. So St. Peter said, okay, your driver, then checked his records and everything. Okay, they opened the door, said, you can go in. Then he went in. So then when priest passed away, then went there, then St. Peter's checked and said, no, you can't. Then the priest said, that's not the fear. I'm priest. I'm saying prayer all the time and doing good things. Then the driver driving crazy and every day scare people. Then when he died, and then he can go to heaven, but not me, right? So that's not fear. Then the St. Peter said, because the driver driving crazy, like that's scary people, they all say prayer all the time. When you give a talk, everybody's listening same thing, right? The preaching to the choirs, so they're sleeping. So that's why they didn't listen to it. So they didn't say the prayer. That's just a joke, but anyway. So if we didn't pay attention to those teachings, then that's our vessel is upside down. So that's didn't listen to it. We have to pay attention. The second one, though held the right side up, being dirty. So that means the vessel is upside, however, right side up. However, inside have something. Then you have a water. That's water is useless. You can't utilize this water because that's already contaminated, dirty. So the idea is, if you have good motivation and the lesson to the teaching, that can benefit. If you don't have that good motivation, then listen to the teaching, then that doesn't help. So for instance, you're thinking about some fame or gain or even like criticize or having some different kind of thing to lessen it, that doesn't work. So that's the second one. The third one is though clean, having a leaky bottom. So that's usually we have, right? So that's why after that teaching, I would like you to write the paper. So that's the idea. You have to remember everything. For me, I'm remembering those basic things every day when I meditate. So we have two kinds of meditations, right? Analytical meditation and the single pointed meditation. When we do the analytical meditation, you have to make a kind of outline for yourself. Then you remember everything. Sometimes that's very interestingly, you can't remember. You have to check. You have to open the book. I'm every day reading this one and every day meditating on this one, but I can't remember this today. Something like that. So that's why that's leaky bottom. Something I heard, but I something remember, but then all of a sudden gone. So that's not good. So that's why when we have those teaching, we have to have those for three faults we have to abandon those three faults. Then so the first thing is that you have to pay attention, you have to listen to it. Usually that's good because our class is just around 40 minutes. Usually they said the class designed 40 minutes because after 40 minutes, 50 minutes, then people can't, pay attention. So we have a shorter one, but you have to pay attention. The second one, you have to have a good motivation. The third one, you have to remember that's all time, right? So those are uh, three solution to the lesson to the Dharma. And why this Dharma is very important. The first verse, we can go there. Through hearing, phenomena are understood. Through hearing, wrongdoing is overcome. Through hearing, what is meaningless is limited. Through hearing, nirvana is attended. So, for those four things, when you hear, you will know everything. That's a very important thing. So in the Lamrim, they mentioned that's one. By the way, you can go online and find the Lamrim. That's Lamrim online. You have it. But otherwise, I can give that's a link to Mary. Then you can go to your email to find out. So here said those four. One verse, 4 lines. They said that the first one, through the hearing, all phenomena you are understood. That means we know what we should do, what we should not do. Through the hearing, we'll know that. Otherwise, we don't know. Sometimes we have suffering, right? We have unhappiness, unhappy thing, and unhappy life, and so forth. Suffering, which we call suffering. Suffering, we don't want it, but we don't know how to stop the suffering. Then happiness, we always want it, but we couldn't find. So happiness we wanted, we couldn't find. The suffering we try to avoid, we can't. How? Have to through this hearing, teaching, then you will know that one. That's the first thing. The second one is wrongdoing. Wrongdoing, actually they mentioned that's 10 non-virtues. Next class we will discuss those 10 non-virtues from our body, speech, and mind. So mind is our king. So the mind controlling everything. How to express through the speech and through the action, the body. Body, speech, and mind. Those three things always working together. Mind, in mind, we're thinking something. Oh, I should do something, or I should earn something, or whatever, something. Then through the speech, then you can express, talk. Then through the action, you do. When you do right thing, you think about something right, you do something right, you think about something right, you say something right, then happiness will come. When you do something wrong, you do something not correct, you do something, think something wrong, then the suffering will come. So that's stress and depression and all of them, and also the important thing I just mentioned, that's fear will happen. That's fear will lead those suffering to come. That's the second one. Through the hearing, that's wrongdoing can overcome. Through the hearing, what is meaningless is limited. So that's one actually they're talking about the meditation. When we meditate, we can't kind of control our mind. So we have some 7 postures to sit. Right? Sit down and properly, close eyes, and everything's fine. But our mind, we can't control. You close your mind, or you close your eyes and start to meditate, and the mind will just go crazy and go away. So how? You have to, through this hearing, so there are some instructions and everything, so you have to follow that and stop them. Then the last one, through the hearing, nirvana is attained. So the nirvana, what is the nirvana? Nirvana, actually, we always say that's nirvana and the samsara, two things. Samsara, in the samsara, when you find out something, how to recognize this thing, how to uh, understand that thing. So that is the two way to do that. If you find something, oh, that is wonderful. That's we can use that for everyone can use that one can benefit something. That's a thought in nirvana. If you find out something, then say, oh, only that's one. That's not enough. That's why that's come to me. Like you have lots of those kind of thought. That is the samsara. So anyway, samsara and nirvana, then through hearing, you can get in that nirvana. So hearing is very important. Maybe today I will stop here. So the then I before I thought I'm gonna talk about that trust or belief. Usually that's in Tibetan called tapa. Okay, tapa. Tapa, they translated in English called faith. I don't know exactly faith or not, but you know when you have religious figures, right? Wherever you believe, Buddha or Jesus or wherever, something, you just believe that's one. No reason, just a belief. That's a kind of a superstition. You have to have some reason to believe. Why you believe that's one. For instance, there one story, they said, the couple, right? The husband is a scientist, great scientist. They're doing lots of things with number, and without number, they don't believe anything. Then the wife is an artist or somebody, you know, like a little bit of spirituality, you know, they like to practice those kind of things. Then the wife said, "I love you." Then the husband said, "Oh, thank you so much, but you have to show me how to approve that one. You have to show me the numbers." Okay, there's no numbers for love, right? So then the wife is also smart. The wife said, "Oh, okay. Then you're a scientist. You remember you recognize all the numbers and everything. You have to have those paper and everything. Otherwise, you don't believe." Yeah, that's my kind of belief. Yes. So then it said, do you think that's the whole universe, right? The universe is limited or endless, like infinity? Oh, definitely, that's infinity. Then how can you prove? Besides belief, there's no way to prove that universe is endless. You know how? There's no number, nothing. Nobody went to the other side of the universe or world. So that's only belief. So that's why love is the same thing, belief. Except that, then you can't approve. You can't approve, you know. So the trust also, sometimes like that, the belief, faith, but you have to have some reason. So maybe those things, maybe next class we'll discuss that. So now, you have to remember several things. The 6 ideas you have to remember. Then the 3 folds of vessel, that's you have to remember. Of course, that's all of them you have. Then when you want to learn more, then you go to the Lamrim book. It's a wonderful English book. Later we'll give that link to you, then you can find out there more information there. And then the hearing. The hearing dharma is very, very important. Why important? They made those 4 lines here. That's you can remember this one. Then the last one is trust or belief or faith. So that's maybe next time. So we said why we take refuge. Okay, we make that conclusion. Why we make refuge? We have a fear. we have a fear of suffering, so that's why we're looking for somewhere to take in the refuge. Why? Then who you taking refuge with? Then I said that's a doctor, medicine, and the treatment. Doctor is Buddha, wherever the instructor, here even they didn't say the Buddha. Why? Because the instructor means wherever the teaching benefit to you, that is the instructor. So there's no form of Buddha. So any kind of Buddha or Bodhisattva can come to your life to benefit to you. So that's why the doctor, we say the doctor is instructor. Then the doctor giving that explanation. So those are explication. That is the medicine. Then the treatment. That treatment is earnest practice. So whom you take refuge in or refuge with. So Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So those two things are important, right? Two reasons, they said two reasons. The first reason is I have a fear of suffering, then that's why I'm taking refuge. That is the first reason. The second reason, I believe or I trust those three things can cure my disease. That's why I take refuge in Buddha, the instructor, and the teaching Dharma, and the Sangha is actually the spiritual community, the congregation. So take that's one. Then those are for total teaching for today. Now we'll do a meditation. Maybe we do a 20-minute meditation. The first meditation, the first part is supposedly is an analytical meditation. The analytical meditation, you have to have something to think. You have to think about something or hearing like that. So we'll have a little chanting from the video. You can listen. That actually is in Sanskrit. Take refuge in Buddha, take refuge in Dharma, take refuge in Sangha. So they're saying those three things. You can listen and you can meditate. That's 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we'll do another 10 minutes of silent meditation. That is the analytical, a single-pointed meditation. You try to control your mind. So that's in the future classes we'll have this discussion. So that's why I don't want to go through too long. Maybe just try to control your mind. You know, the sitting postures we mentioned before. You sit down and check your 5 senses. Try to shut off your 5 senses. And still 5 senses give information to the mind. Don't register them. Just let them go. Just register them, don't act them. So our problem is always we act them, right? So for instance, we respond them. So phone rings, then we say, oh, who is that? Like, oh, something itching or something. Oh, that's a mosquito or what? The mosquito, of course, too early now. We don't have a mosquito now, but you know, we don't need those kind of respond. We just let them go. Let them go. Then that is the single point meditation. Now we'll start that's chanting.